Let me get to you for a quick second talking about you because you've got an extensive client list. You've got Anthony Davis, you've got Tyrese Maxey, you got Draymond Green, who we'll get into in a couple of minutes or so before I let you get on out of here. But you've done a phenomenal job being the leader of Clutch Sports, the founder and the CEO. You've got NFL clients right now. As you sit back and reflect and remember, just thinking about all the things that you've accomplished in your career as an agent in this business, how do you sit right now? I'm talking about in yourself, thinking about you and what you've accomplished. By the way, you're a best-selling author, so let's not forget about that either, because you deserve a lot of credit for that. I would know something about that, by the way. But your thoughts about where you are right now?
Look, I'm in a great place. And honestly, Stephen, I think back on all this stuff and, I'm blessed, man. I really am. I come from a world in which guys don't make it to this place. And when I say that, it's not based upon finance. Everybody bases things upon money. And I think that's been an issue around our league. People look at money as having success, and people look at money as being a decision maker, so on and so forth. And that's not the case for me. I think just continue to be a great example. I've achieved things despite for so many years, and I don't do it by myself. I look around and having the ability to affect people's lives by hiring them and positioning them, staying late in the office the other night, talking to some of the young people in the office just about life and things like that. I'm extremely blessed, which is why when people look at me and they say, well, you don't seem to get rattled about anything if you were to no longer work with a top client, or if you didn't get this guy coming in the draft, and so on and so forth. And I say no, because at the end of the day, I built and we built a tremendous business. I've continued to grow my portfolio and things that I want to do and want to accomplish as an executive and a creator. I think there's enough room for everybody to be successful. And I think I think we're now in a place in which, for me, I've just always been about the respect, and I appreciate the guys that came before me, the Bill Stricklands, the Doc Tuckers, the Eugene Parkers, that people had it rough, and I came into a place where I hit it at a time where the business of basketball was booming, and I had a tremendous, 10 years hitting it, boom, 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 boom. And then, disrupting the industry where you're leading with education and not a checkbook, right? Because we know most people in my position, they're glorified ego strokers. Right. They have a master in ego stroking. And again, as an agent, you have to have some of that in you. But my positioning was that can't be the end all be all. And so I know when I'm having a conversation amongst parents or amongst talent, if they don't necessarily value the conversation I'm having, then I know our relationship is probably not going to work, because I'm coming at it from a totally different perspective. And I refuse to be put in a box. I won't be put in a box. I'm not just an agent. And at the end of the day, I'll continue to, just like you, me and you have side conversations about several things. Yeah. You learn your business from a different perspective now, and you have a different perspective on it. And you work to position yourself to where you can be a decision maker and you can do different things based upon what you've earned. I feel the same way. And so as I'm in sports today, and we just got into baseball, and we'll get into another sport, and people don't know, but we do sponsorships and we do a lot of consulting work for different brands. We built a really great company, and I have a great partner in UTA, which I'm on the board and co-head of sports there. And so all that's great. I never even thought I would be in that position, but I also never was complacent with any so-called win.
Is there a defining moment where you felt this is what put me here? Is there one thing that you can point to over the course of your career, which is now illustrious, nobody can deny that you can definitively say, this moment right here was a defining moment for me in this realm?
Yeah, actually, on our group chat, well, one of the many group chats I'm on, but one of our group chats, this question was just asked to me.
Okay.
And I named about 15 things, just not understanding. But yes, to answer your question, there were several, and this is for the young people out there. Listen, one of the first things I ever did was make a sacrifice, right? And you know it, when LeBron first went to Miami, I went, but I didn't go. I was focused on, I was recruiting Tristan back in that time. I was recruiting Johnny Flynn before that. But I was recruiting Tristan. I was recruiting Corey Joseph and Eric Bledsoe, right? And so what that showed was that I was serious and I was focused and I wasn't dependent of anybody for that matter, right? And so because of that, that led to the next thing, me advising LeBron to go back to Cleveland. Well, he took me serious based upon me having a real knowledge and understanding of what was going on and why. And then that led to the next thing, which was, Eric Bledsoe's contract. And then that led to getting a guy like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And then that led to John Wall, who was a former #1 pick, switching, which was a big deal. And then that led to, having Ben Simmons as a #1 pick, and then getting Anthony Davis, and then, Darius Garland, who had a meniscus tear, still going top 5. And then, it's just so many different things within that, again, a guy like Chris Livingston being drafted at 58 when there was a reporter a Kentucky reporter that said this kid would not get drafted in 4 drafts when he decided to leave because they were trying to discourage him to come back to school, and for him to have guaranteed money and just get a head start in life. See, my thing is helping all these young men understand the importance of having a starting point of direction in life. Basketball comes second. Basketball is a vehicle, right? But it's not the end all be all. And so you're going to stop playing, but what have you learned? If you're talking on the phone to your guy and he's just telling you everything you want to hear, you hang up that phone. Shit, you could have been talking to anybody. You might as well, call the telethon, And so at the end of the day, I just come at it from a different perspective. Right. And you and I have several conversations. I know people see you on TV ranting and raving. That's going crazy at me, but that's part of it. But we also have important conversations well offline. And so I'm in a great space, man. I'm just appreciative, Stephen A. I don't do this stuff alone. I've had a lot of help along the way. I've had a lot of people supporting me along the way, and I still have that. And I really feel like, when I succeed or when I do something well, it's us doing something well. When I talk about us, I'm talking about the young generation. I'm talking about the youth, because I'm an example of, despite what anybody say you can or can't do or any credentials you may lack, you can still be somebody and position yourself. And so I really, I hold that in a special place.
Well, I respect the hell out of you. I respect what you've accomplished, and I love our relationship and how we communicate, even when you're getting on my damn nerves because you're trying to control the rundown of my shows and all of that stuff.